Do you find most image editing software unnecessarily expensive? Do they feel bloated with tools that you'll never use? Or maybe your needs are simple: resize, convert, maybe rotate. But you need to do it for hundreds of images at once. If that sounds like you, then stop wasting your time and money. Because in this video, we are diving into a tool that does exactly what you need and nothing that you don't. It is called XnConvert. It's lightweight, powerful, and completely free. No subscriptions, no watermarks, no hidden limitations. Just clean, efficient bulk processing. Stick around, because once you see what XnConvert can do, you'll wonder why didn't you find it sooner.
Alright, so let's get you set up. Head over to xnview.com. Click on Products, then choose XnConvert under Image Processing. It works on Windows, Mac, and Linux, so just pick your OS and grab the download. As I mentioned earlier, XnConvert is completely free for personal use. But if you find it useful, consider tossing in a donation to support the developers. This really helps. And if you're using it for commercial work, there's a low-cost license available. No hidden fees, no nonsense. Once you've downloaded the installer, run it, get it installed, and you're ready to roll. Once you install XnConvert, this is what you'll see. Now I'm on a Mac, but whether you're on Windows or Linux, things look pretty similar. Just a few tweaks here and there. You will notice a set of tabs or panels that guide how the software works. Input, Actions, Output, Settings, About, and Status. Each one plays a key role, and once you know what they do, the whole process becomes effortless. Let's break them down one by one. So on this interface of XnConvert, the first tab that we see is for the input files. A very simple interface. You've got an option to add files, add a folder, remove, and remove all. Like if you want to add files, you can either click on this plus icon over here, go to the particular folder, like this, select all of them, and open. Or else the other way would be, you can just go to that particular folder where your files are lying, select all of them, and they just simply drag and drop the files in the white area, like this. You can select individual files and remove them like this. Or with just one click, you can remove all by clicking here. There's an option for presets that we'll discuss later, but by and large, this actually helps you to load an old preset that you have selected, or else you can also save the current actions as a new preset. At the bottom of the input tab, you'll also find something called as hot folders, which we will see how we configure it in the next video. Let's now go to the action tab. Well, actually, this is where all the action happens. Here in this section, you will see an add action button where you can add actions from various headers. In order to understand how this action tab works, let's add some input files. We'll need to go back to the input tab, add files, and let's select all the sample files that we have got ready for this one. Now that we have these many input files, we'll go to the Actions tab once again. And here in Actions, you'll see that there are a lot of options. You can adjust, you can add QR codes, watermarks, blurring is possible. Then you can enhance certain channels. You can add or remove the metadata. You can pixelate. You can transform the images. And there's a link in the description that will provide you details with all the actions that can be done in the Action tab. On this tab, you will also see that there's an option to check all the images. Like you edit an action and you want to see how all the images are looking in the preview. So this preview window, you can just from here scroll and go to the next image and it will show you how the images are looking. The good thing is that all of these actions can be added one after the other. So which means that it's not necessary that you just add one action, but you can have multiple actions being done on the same image. Let's now look at an example where we are editing a bunch of images. But before we get into the example, let's look at the other tabs on XnConvert. You'll see one output tab. Here you will see that you've got an option to configure the folder
that will be your output folder. Let's say I go over here, and here I have got my final folder, which I've just created, and just configure it over here. I add the final folder. You can even configure the file name. Let's say you want to add a prefix or a suffix to your file name. You can add it over here, or else if you want to keep it the same, you can keep it the same. Like if I want to put it like file name underscore modifying, I can add the file name over here. Then you'll also have start index, formats. If you want to change the formats, you can preserve the metadata, or you can just delete the original metadata if you want. And you can even delete the original file if you want to. Apart from that, there's the settings section where you can choose the language, choose the theme. You can have this default theme that is there. You can change it to light, or you can even have a dark theme. Well, I prefer the default, so let me get back to default theme. Apart from that, there are other options like you want to save the action list on exiting. You want to rotate based on EXIF orientation tag, like your image might be in a portrait mode, but as per EXIF tag, it's in a landscape mode. So it will convert it to landscape before actually working on it. Apart from that, there's an option for registration. If you have purchased a license, you can kind of go over here and add the license. There's this about section which talks about the software asset. Now, we have configured the output folder, and as I said that we want to go ahead and do an example edit. The thing that I need to do is that I want to make all the images into grayscale. I want to convert them to a 1920 by 1080. I don't want to maintain the aspect ratio. I want to just stretch the image if needed, but I want 1920 by 1080 as the size. I want to add a logo to it, and I want to add a watermark. Now, these are 4 different actions that we can add in sequence, and let's see how it is done. So first of all, let me make all the images grayscale. I'll go to add actions, adjust, and I'll go to the HLS adjustment. From here in saturation, I'll kind of reduce the saturation. You see this one is -100, and it automatically changes it to a black and white image. So this is my first action. Now the second action is that I want to make it a 1920 by 1080 image. Now for that, I'll go to add action, I'll go to transform, and I'll do a resize. Now in this resize, you'll see that I got an option to keep the aspect ratio. I'll remove it, and then I'll go width of 1920 and a height of 1080. All right, this was my second action. The third action was that I wanted to add a logo. I already got a logo prepared, so that is actually a PNG image with the logo that will appear somewhere over here. I'll just add that particular layer and say add actions, add, and let's say I call it a watermark, and I'll browse it, and I've added a sample logo and open. All right. Now that the watermark is added, the fourth action that I wanted to do was that I wanted to add a text which says property of XYZ. So I'll do add another watermark, and the fourth watermark, I'll change the link from here and go to sample watermark, which will appear like this. Now you see the preview image that is here, and you must also observe that it's very important to sequence your images. You can't do the aspect ratio change later and first do the addition of like the logo and the watermark. So once you're doing multiple actions on images, you need to make sure that you are kind of following the sequence properly. Now from here, if I check, I can go to the preview and see the images one by one, and this is how they will look. Now once this is done, I need to go to output. I already changed the file name, I changed the location. The only thing that I need to do now is press the convert button. I press it and let the magic happen. So here you'll have the images getting done, and here below you'll see how many images are remaining, what is the time that is remaining to complete this process, and also what is the percentage of work that has been done. So let's just wait and see how much time it takes. Well, just to let you know that I have multiple processes happening on my system. So that's why it's showing a bit slow, but believe me, it's very fast. And I would recommend that you try it yourself and see how fast this image editing software is.
So I had a total of 148 images. It extracted 148 images, it made 148 new images, and it took exactly 1 minute to do this process. And let's see how the final images look like. This was my raw folder, and from here I'll go to the final folder. Here are all my images. Now see, I had added modified at the end of every file name. They appear over here, and then if I look at those images one by one, see. So all the images have been modified. As I said, the good thing about this particular software is that whatever set of commands you used just now, if you're using these commands again and again, you can even save this preset. So there's an option to save the preset, and you can save the script, call it anything, and then once you want to use it, you just have to load the preset from here, and your preset is ready to be used.
So there you have it. XnConvert might not look flashy, but it gets the job done fast, and most importantly, it does it right. Whether you're batch resizing 500 photos for a client, converting images for your blog, or just trying to organize a messy photo archive, the tool seriously cuts down the grunt work. And the best part, you didn't have to spend a single dollar on some overpriced photo shoot. XnConvert is free, it runs on pretty much any machine, and once you've set up your routine edits, it just works. If you are someone who juggles image files regularly, this is the kind of utility that quietly becomes a must-have in your workflow. Now, if you found this video helpful, maybe you learned something new, maybe you just saved a few hours of your life, go ahead and hit the like button. It really helps the channel grow. Subscribe to the channel if you want more no-nonsense tools and tech tips that save your time and money. And if you got any questions about XnConvert or want me to cover any other tool, drop in the comments. I read every one of them. Thanks for watching this video, and until next time, bye-bye.